Everybody has their fair share of fears, from Herobrine to killer clowns.
And not to mention the fact that even I, your friendly neighborhood gremlin, has her fair share of weird fears. Once again, my name is Zars, and today not only will I be talking about some of the basic fears I have, but I also will be talking about some of the specific fears I had when I was a young gremlin, and perhaps which are still lingering up till now. Basic fear number 1 for me was acrophobia, which is also known as the fear of heights. Now, I'm not entirely sure where this fear stemmed from, but I do have quite a lot to tell you guys in regards to it. As a young gremlin, my acrophobia would be triggered because of 2 things: amusement parks and Ferris wheels. Unfortunately, even up till now, whenever I go to an amusement park, I avoid any ride which is too high. And back on my home planet, whenever I would go to an amusement park with my cousins or sister, I would avoid any ride which would go at a height or upside down, and I would just be the only one standing there holding everyone's belongings until the ride was over. In terms of Ferris wheels, good thing that my acrophobia is not as much anymore, but even when we do reach the very top, I make sure not to look down and look at everything which is in my line of sight, or I just hold the hand of the person sitting next to me. Fear number 2 for me is pretty basic: the dark. I'm not entirely sure if I'm scared of the dark or what's in it, but with the countless horror movies I've watched, I can say for sure that I'm more afraid of what is in the dark rather than what is outside of it. Another basic fear I nearly forgot to mention has to do with cockroaches. I hate cockroaches with a burning passion. I've hated them ever since I was a young gremlin. At every single crime scene, there would always be a cockroach. Whether I'm in the bathroom, outside, no matter where I am, those weird looking crawly creatures will be there, and the way they would move and wiggle around, and that oddly cringy sound of them getting crushed under a boot, shiver me timbers. But even up till now, I am slightly less afraid of them. However, if I do encounter one, I'm not the one killing them. I'm grabbing the person close to me, or grabbing anyone who's nearby, and demanding them to kill that monstrosity. We will now be moving forward and talking about my more weirdly specific fears. The first one being Slender Man. Yes, you heard that right. I was drop dead scared of Slender Man. You see, back in the days when I was a young gremlin, I stumbled upon mass videos of Slender Man sightings, Slender Man luring children into his forest. All of it was so scary to the point I thought that he was actually real. I remember that my cousins and we would also argue whether or not he was real. And one time we were outside, we actually challenged each other to go into this dark forest when we were out for dinner or something. I don't know, it was a pretty strange time, but as I grew older, I just found out that Slender Man isn't actually real and he's just a creepypasta character. So, that was really interesting. Another really specific fear of mine is the dark. But what is so specific about this one? You see, when I'm turning the light off in a room, or the living room for that matter, I make a run for it. I'm not sure why I do that, but the moment I turn off the light, I look around, I look behind me, and my mind just goes like, run. I run back to my room, I get under the covers, tuck myself in, and doze off. Now, this fear, can you even call it a fear, is something which is faced by many people, and it has to do with sleep paralysis. Everybody knows how scary this thing is, and it can be different for everyone. Unfortunately, even I found myself victim to this. A few days ago, I was in a state of being half asleep and half awake. But when I tried to get up, I felt something pushing me down. And it felt so real that I couldn't move, nor could I even make out a sound. So the only thing I could do was just move my head around until I find my voice, which didn't really help much. Eventually, the sleep paralysis wore off, but when I woke up, I was deeply unsettled and hoped that nothing like this would happen ever again. And that is all for today's storytime video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed creating it. Now, I shall go and work on the next storytime video for you all to watch and enjoy. See ya!